We had a guest the other day, the securities expert, legal and economist, Dr. Charles Omole. He was our guest. We're really impressed with our conversation. I wanted to bring him back again because we're not done talking to him. Dr. Omole, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning,
we enjoyed your company the other day. In fact, we're still going to bring you on more because we just felt that we need to speak to you again. We had so many questions for you, but we couldn't exhaust the questions. But we'll delve right into it. One of the things I was concerned about the economy is that our relationship with China. I'm worried. The whole world seemed to be ganging up almost against China because of COVID-19. Everybody's sending them bills of what COVID has cost them. And here is Africa. We've romanced China. They're like our new big brother. You know, they've given us money. So we are almost like China's best friends at this time. But the whole world seems to be ganging up against it. What does this portend for Africa at this time where it seems that China is our new big brother?
Well, I mean, China is just what's it called? China is like the bogeyman of all things wrong with the Western relationship with Africa. So, I mean, it could easily have been United States, but China is in the eye of the storm at the moment. I think the thesis is the fact that, you know, Africa has been exploited for too long. But I think the best way to actually put it is Africa has allowed itself to be exploited for so long.
Well put, sir.
Therefore, as a result of that, you know, COVID is showing. I mean, one of the key things, even in terms of world powers, one of the things COVID-19 has shown is people withdrawing into themselves. If you, for example, look at how the nations of the world responded to COVID, even within the EU, there was no EU response. It was individual countries doing their own thing. You know, everybody went back to their own camp as a result of COVID. You know, in terms of shutdown of air travel, for example, there was no global coordination at all. Each nation was just announcing their own. And we are closing our borders. We are closing our borders. So what this has done is it kind of reawakened the sort of sense of nationalism in each nation, and in this case, Africa, and we begin to question some of the things China has brought to the table. So yes, gang up on China, I accept it's happening, but you cannot say it's not 100% undeserving because China has made itself a big player across Africa.
Right.
And, you know, right now, everybody needs somebody to blame, and China it is.
Okay. So after our talk the last time, yesterday, I would love you to give us hope. So the controller of our ports, the MPA, was talking about how much Nigerians were able to export. We need the forex. How hopeful? What other areas can we look into, aside oil, of course, to export and get this forex to grow our own economy?
Well, I mean, there are lots of minerals in terms of that's not been well exploited in Nigeria. I mean, one of the biggest scandals that's happening in Nigeria, which the media are not probably covering as much, is how some cabal, I'm sorry to use that word again, some cabal have more or less taken over all our mines across Nigeria. The other day, you read in the media how some Chinese were, arrested, I think it's in Osun State or so, for mining our gold. The question you have to ask yourself is that how will the Chinese in China know there is gold in Osun State if no Nigerian brought them to come and mine it? You know, so in terms of our mineral resources, we need to clearly, exploit that more officially. And yesterday I was talking about entrepreneurial revolution. Actually, what I meant, I mean, a very typical example of that, is that a law was enacted many years ago in the U.S. as a way of encouraging entrepreneurship. And that law states that 20 or 25% of all federal government contracts must go to startups and small businesses. It was a deliberate decision to encourage small businesses. Something like that could easily be done in Nigeria. You know, the way contracts and procurement are done, for example, by governments in Nigeria, only very few companies are qualified. They ask for 5-year tax clearance, 5 years this, 5 years that. You're a graduate, you just started your business 6 months ago, you have no chance of getting anything in government because the system has been rigged only for well-established long-term businesses. So what government needs to do as a way of encouraging entrepreneurship is to put their money where their mouth is. To say, okay, we are going to do X percentage of all federal contracts. We go to small and startup businesses as a way of encouraging entrepreneurship. That easily can be done without any cost to government, and get more people to, to get into entrepreneurship. So there are so many examples I can give in terms of entrepreneurial, explosion that I was talking about that needs to take place in the country. So we need to do that. Number three, we need to, government, they are doing the right thing in this direction. We need to consume more of what we produce as a nation. The days of just importing everything should be over. We need to consume more, and the challenge about this consumption is the fact that a bit of it is psychological. And that's what many Nigerians don't know. When the federal government closed the borders, there was a story I read, I think it was in December, about some people who would produce their local rice and then fraudulently bag it as though it's foreign and put the local rice in it. And people are buying it and commending that it was good rice.
Yes.
So which meant what people were buying was not the quality of the rice, was the mentality of foreign is better.
Yes.
So psychologically, we need to change.
You said something yesterday that struck me, that those who are going to survive post-COVID are those who are technologically savvy. And you try to make us understand that this is the time for us to seek knowledge, understand, and find ways. Now, when you said that, were you referring to entrepreneurial, or you're still saying you can still work in a company and offer services based on technology? Could you help us clarify?
Then let me just come in here, because since you have talked about technology, there is no way that music can be technological. You cannot turn music into a robot. You cannot, entertainment. There is hardly a way to, or maybe you have a new solution to the technology of music and entertainment.
Well, in terms of music and entertainment, the technology there is not that a robot will be singing for you. It's the fact that, for example, one of my daughters, for example, is studying, music. And I was asking her the other day, I said, okay, how much do you need to buy all the, production equipment, all the, mixers and everything you need for your... He said, no, I don't need, all I need is have the software and I use for all that now. So with the software, she has our entire studio on her laptop.
Wow.
In those days where you go into a studio where you see all this machine with so many buttons, that day is gone. Everything's now on the computer.
But that's different.
Already happening in music.
That's to bring out a record. That's to bring out a record.
Yes.
Musicians perform. Musicians go on stage. Then, when I'm talking about entertainment, it's all encompassing. I'm not just talking about. You are talking about nightclubs, bars, hairdressers. All that is entertainment. I'm going to wash my hair through.
Well, let me put it this way.
Through viral, like we're talking to you.
No,
because
you're never going to get it.
I'm fearing this social distancing and all this. We are losing human touch, human comfort, human contact to machines. Yeah. That's my own fear.
Yeah. Oh, no. Don't, we're never going to get to high robot universe where robot takes over the universe. No, that's never going to happen. I think what's going to happen is you're going to have even the robots performing surgery that they're already doing right now. It will still be human being keeping an oversight on it. It's just that not as many hands will be needed. In terms of the first question, in terms of technology, yes, will drive. Technology will drive entrepreneurship, but technology will also drive jobs in the office space. So it's going to be both. One of the things I released on my Twitter handle yesterday at Dr. C. Omole was I did a masterclass last night on the 25 hot business trends that Nigerians should expect, after, COVID-19, and one of the key areas is technology. So technology will affect the office space in the sense that what you do will now have to be technologically enabled, because companies will now use more of what I call remote working facilities will now be used more in the office. in office space. So that means you have to have basic knowledge. By technology, by the way, I don't mean we all become programmers or
Right.
stuff like no.
Right.
There will be need for that, but you need to be technologically aware. Much more than you are at the moment.
Unfortunately, we have to go. We've run out of time. It's always a pleasure having you, Dr. Omole. We have to bring you back. What's your Twitter handle again so that we can follow you?
At Dr. C. Omole.
Dr. C.
At
Omole.
Dr. C. Omole.
Certainly, we'll follow
Yes.
you then. But we'll call you often as possible because we need continuous insights to educate Nigerians on the way forward. Many people are confused post-COVID. They're not sure how to design their businesses and all that. So we definitely need your insights on that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Like me, I'm confused though.
Yeah, YK needs help. Shrine has been closed for months now, So we'll come to that. Have a fabulous day.
You'll be fine.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, cheers. Bye.